Hello Libra, welcome to your reading. My name is Maria and this is a tarot intuitive story for you if you have Libra anywhere in your chart or even if you don't. If you were drawn to this video for some other reason, if you feel like it resonates, then it's for you. We have three decks on the table today: the Light Seers Tarot, the Zen Tarot, and the Cosmic Creatures deck. And we start out with the temperance energy. Quite a big energy to start your reading with, and this speaks about finding the golden middle way of not going into any extreme either way, and to find just the perfect sort of alignment where you negotiate the energies of life and yourself perfectly. And I think that this reading is about relationships, could be about groups or groups of people, could maybe also be about some hopes or dreams that you have, but I think it might mainly be about intimate relationships or a intimate relationship. And the reading as such is about you taking a journey that sort of takes the extremes of thinking or feeling sort of out of your life, or the things that are unbalanced, let's say. Taking the unbalanced parts and maybe making them very clear to you in order for you to clear them out. So it's a journey that I think you went on. I'm not exactly sure where you are in the storyline. That depends on when you find the video, so you can switch around the past and present tenses. But really, this energy, a big energy, came into your life at some point, and what that energy really wanted was for you to balance out some energies that were not completely aligned within you. Now, usually we can switch around the gender, so you can switch this to another gender. It did come out as a very masculine energy to me, but it might not have been in your case. And also angelic, you know, if you can see the wings on this person, and the person himself, let's say him, her, they, themselves, is of course very clear. It is a human being that came in, and the wings are sort of in the background, telling me that they might not have at all shown up as an angel in your life. They could have, but it's more like spirit was sort of guiding them towards you in order to show you something or teach you something or awaken something in you. And I think they came in as somebody who was very giving, or had something to give, wanted to give something to you. Seemed very loving, giving, maybe romantic, generous. This could also, it sometimes comes out as love bombing. They could have been love bombing you if that was that kind of situation. But of course, either way, this is a very enticing energy. If this came into your life, I'm sure you stopped in your tracks. And actually, I would claim that you did, because it comes out with the wake-up call, the rooster, which is like, you know, the rooster calls and then the whole city wakes up, right? So this came in, and you were certainly woken up by this energy arriving in your life. And I think you thought, this is perfect. This was just what I was looking for, because you were in a state of, I think, well, this one I've seen interpreted by Santaro as somebody who's cooking, or it looks exactly like that. She looks like a chef. That's how I totally understand this card too. And I think you were sort of cooking up your life, let's say. You're sort of trying to figure out what ingredients you wanted in your life. And I'm gonna take a little bit of hobbies, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of some workout. I'll do this for work. I'll have these friends. I think you were sort of or organizing your life, or you were figuring out, oh, I want a little bit of this and then a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna cook it all up into a soup, and then I'll have the perfect life, I'll have the happy life. And that's sort of how you were going about, you know, adding things to your life. But I think that made you very susceptible to being maybe seduced, or maybe not seeing everything and everybody clearly, because in a way you were kind of trying to figure out if you thought they fit into your soup, if they were an ingredients you needed in your life. And because you were that, I think, maybe specific, that meant that you I'm not exactly sure how to explain this, but maybe you were hoping, oh, let's hope that this is just that ingredients that I need, and because I've been looking for this, that, or the other, so that would have made your vision a little less clear, maybe made you a little less critical, because I think you were probably really hoping, oh, I just need that ingredients or that ingredients, and then it'll be perfect, my life will be perfect, in a way. So maybe it made you see things a little less clearly, because you were really focused on organizing your life in this perfect way that you had envisioned. But the deeper reality of it was that there was something that you were not seeing, there was something that you were not aware of, or not that was not a part of your calculations, let's say, and that was the fact that life is actually a mystery. That you know, this is an Osho quote, that life is not a business to be managed. It's a mystery to be lived. And so, and you had sort of forgotten that, or you just not, that was not where you were looking. You were looking at some other things. You were looking maybe very practically at your life, and also as a visionary, which I think that you probably are a big visionary, but you had maybe just forgotten to think about the fact that that's actually not what life is not about making the perfect soup. Some of the time it's actually about doing things we don't understand, and being in situations that are weird, and running around and making mistakes, and actually never reaching the perfect life, because that's not what spirit wants, and it's not supported by life in a way. It's not what life is supposed to be, and it's also never what it is. So the octopus really comes out as the mysteries of life, as, you know, as an energy that is the real truth of you and life and everybody. And you had kind of forgotten that, because you were sort of in the middle of making your soup, and I think you might also have, maybe you had a lot of things settled already, and maybe you're just missing that one ingredient. And maybe that was the thing that made you a little, that blinded you a little, because you were so close. You felt you were so close to having created that life that you figured, that's the one that's gonna make me happy. So probably when this energy came in, you were like, oh, here it is, like that's the missing ingredient, and then it'll be done, and I'll just, you know, I'll have my soup, and it'll all be good and ready and perfect and done. So how I think that you saw this person, and you saw that opportunity, or what it was that came in, that was in a way sort of, I think the angelic part of it was also this. I think this one came in like an incredible synchronicity, like something where you were like, it was just, you were just astounded, because there were so many signs surrounding it, or there was something incredibly magical about it that made it seem like this is really meant for me, like this is supposed to be. And so it looks to me like you sort of created a whole dream around this person. You imagined them to be the highest, most perfect thing, like the perfect partner, the perfect opportunity, the perfect group of friends or something that that would come in with a lot of somebody who had their life sorted out very beautifully as well, and has or had a lot of power, potential, authority, success. And I think you envisioned a relationship full of love and friendship and harmony, and something very balanced, something that you as a Libra would just completely love. I think you just saw it as the potential for the perfect love relationship. So in other words, what you thought you had found was, you thought you found the unicorn, that one in a million. And it's a little weird, it just came to me, this so reminded me, there was a video that went viral many years ago. It was, I think, a former FBI or CIA agent who was doing this sort of explanation about, probably if we see it again today it's going to be really sexist, but at that time it was kind of funny, about looking for a partner, and if we want too much, it's sort of like looking for a unicorn. And I think you probably did think you had found the unicorn, but what actually happened was that it wasn't really like that. Because I see you really fighting. This is a fighting card, the Five of Cups. Maybe with that person, although they might not even have been a part of that journey anymore. They could have just shown up, disappeared, or just somehow went to the periphery of all of this, and then you continued sort of the relationship within your mind and creating this whole beautiful picture about this love story or communion that you were gonna have. But what reality was something else. It was this, because it was not really dream and reality were not fitting each other. It was not aligned. So it was really, in a way, you were sort of working against reality, which is of course always a fight that we lose. Or maybe if this person was actually a part of your life, maybe you were trying to sort of fit them into the mold. You were like, either could have been bickering or fighting, or you trying to sort of make them into this. Or you could have been just daydreaming and sort of only focusing on the parts that would fit it into the most beautiful part of the daydream, and sort of not really looking at the others. Either way, you were not aligned with actual reality in that mindset or that idea. So you then come out with the Dream from the Zen Tarot, which I always find to be a really harsh card, because it's about, well, maybe you can see from the picture, it's about, in this case, here's the woman, gender can be changed around too, but she has this dream of the perfect love, and how that's gonna bring her happiness and joy and just make everything perfect, and it's gonna be just that thing that kind of makes her whole life be a fairy tale, and that, about how that is an illusion. It's just a lie. It can never be. And so it is kind of a devastating card. But I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't already know from the story. I think you know that this has been that reality that you were dreaming, this incredibly beautiful dream, but it wasn't manifesting, and it hasn't manifested because it wasn't real. that person that you dreamt up out of this one was a what's that called? Fata Morgana? You know, when you walk in the desert and you think you see the oasis, but really it's just the sun playing tricks on you. Yes, so that left you in an incredibly sticky situation. So actually, now that I'm seeing this card, I think this person may have been a part of you. Because you may have gotten involved with this or these people, and and when you realize, by the time you realize, oh, they're actually not what I thought, this is totally not the fairy tale, this is not making me happy, this is a really bad situation for me, it's not at all what I thought or what I dreamt or what I wanted, that leaves you in a sticky situation. So the sticky situation could have been something in actual fact with somebody that you sort of had to then find a way to get out of your life again. But it could also have been trying to get somebody out of your heart and your mind that had already sort of taken root, or you'd already gotten sort of enmeshed with that person or with that energy, and it probably also slowed you down quite a bit, because then you had to deal with, you know, cleaning up that mess, I guess. But as it turns out, that exact mess that you then had to clean up, that sticky situation that you then found yourself in, was actually a situation that Spirit wanted you to arrive to, because when you started to clean up that mess from all of this, you also started cleaning up some very old energies in your life and in your psyche, in your heart, in your mind, that really needed to be cleaned up. So and that's also why this energy that came in was divinely guided, because it was really trying to steer you into a giant mess, so that you would clean up some deeper issues, some deeper things. So this is the past lives card, and doesn't have to be past lives. If that doesn't speak to you, it could be. But I always understand this as just old energies from our own lives, just old traumas, old emotional debris, stuff we haven't fixed or sort of cleaned up. So that came up. You know, this sticky situation that you couldn't really move from for a while actually was meant to arrive in your life for you to do sort of a deep cleaning, a deep detoxing of, and also maybe of your mindset, of the way you look at love. Maybe it wanted you to question that idea about the unicorn, that was the only way to love, or that love necessarily entails meeting a unicorn. I think there's something about that you've been having realizations about, because I think you've been stuck in this aftermath for some time. I don't know how long, you'll probably know. And so what you have been doing, what you might still be doing to some extent, is actually a very important cleanup job. And the consequence of doing this really important work is the Two of Cups. So out comes love. And I actually noticed that one of the hands has a bracelet that matches this guy's. So it could be that you having done this whole inner work actually makes that relationship possible on a more sort of practical, actual level, because the lovers that came out sort of in your dream was like a big love, like a big sort of romantic, big gestures kind of love. This is more of a feeling it every day, being close to each other, building it kind of love. It's more actual, it's more literal, it's more present. It's actually there. And so you might actually have a second chance with that person, or you're getting ready for love. You clean up so much of this old stuff inside of yourself that I think that you somehow become more comfortable with the mystery of your own depth and of the depth of life. And I think you come into sort of some awareness where just dreaming about this one thing, that one unicorn, is not really, it doesn't call to you as much. You're not as seduced by it. So something very real can come in. And so either you are being, an actual relationship comes in, or the same one gets sort of a new start, a much more realistic and very beautiful new start. Or you could just be getting ready for love, or this relationship happens. So I'm not sure if this is that person, a new person, could also be an inner union. But these two energies are just incredibly high vibe. I mean, this is even beyond what you've been dreaming of. It's so high level, it's so evolved. It's two people who have reached more or less their highest potential, their absolute abundance, and really high spiritual frequency, that meet each other. It's really quite incredible. So this is what is opening to you now, or is actually coming in. I don't know how exactly, or has just come in, might already be there, or you might both have evolved to this level. Either way, this is actually a match made in heaven, and it's really, really stunning and incredible. These are two very high level people. And then we end up with the last card is the fox. And this speaks about being very smart. So I think that this whole process has been smartening you up to life and to the energies that you let into your life, and what they need to arrive with, for you to say yes, for you to want them. So you're not so focused on making the perfect life anymore. I think you're much more about every single thing and being present with that, which is a really good strategy, as it turns out, because it's really making this love possible. And I don't know why I'm mentioning this. It just came out when I was looking at the reading. So we came out with that first energy, this one who came in like a wake-up call with the rooster, and now suddenly you've become something that could just eat the rooster. It's like you've become a predator to this one. So I think, in a way, well, probably what it wants to say is that you're no longer susceptible to that kind of wake-up calls, because you've way smartened up beyond that. It's just a real upgrade. So you're no longer in a space where something comes in and says, wake up, you're not seeing reality, because you really are. And that reality is actually, now that you know that reality is mysterious, mystical, is gonna bring you something incredibly stunning. So yeah, This was your reading, Libra. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for being here. If you liked it, please share, like, subscribe, and all of that. And come back again soon. Bye.